Hello and welcome to a beautiful example of one of our most consistently in-demand 4x4s. It is of course a full facelift 2017 Range Rover Vogue in a very, very rare colour choice. In fact, a surprisingly rare choice given just how good it looks, of dark sapphire blue. It is a beautiful looking car in this colour, and of course this generation of Range Rover looks fantastic in virtually any colour combination, but there are definitely some which stand out, and this is one of them. In particular in conjunction with of course those dark wheels and a very interesting choice of dual tone interior. It is a beautiful spec of Range Rover and certainly stands out, but in a very classy way. What's perhaps even better than its spec though is its value, because these of course were known for being top shelf luxury vehicles here in the UK, one of our premier luxury cars in fact, and their prices certainly mirrored that. But a vehicle like this definitely puts the affordable and definitely the prestige into our name, because now this is under £22,000. And not only is it a 2017 car, as mentioned, it's covered less than 80,000 miles. Barely 79,000 on the clock is really not much at all for a Range Rover, and any aficionado of them will of course be familiar with that. What you'll also be familiar with is of course the 3-litre TD V6 engine, which is by far the most in-demand engine for this particular shape, certainly from our collection, and in addition to giving all of the kind of pulling power which you would want from a Range Rover thanks to 440 foot-pounds of torque, which in real terms means if you were to, for example, use it as a holiday towing vehicle or even just a long-distance cruiser in general, it takes everything in its stride. The engine never feels like it's working that hard, which of course is exactly what you would want. On top of its pulling power though, this is one of the key advantages of this generation of Range Rover, in particular over the ones which came before it, and this is also one of the reasons why people love them so much. It's all well and good having an affordable vehicle to buy, but what if the fuel economy doesn't match up to that? Well, some 4x4s could easily fall into that issue, not so here though, because these can, believe it or not, average up to 40 miles per gallon, which is a huge difference over the outgoing cars, certainly from around a decade or so prior, and on the motorway of course it's even better, as high as 44. Again, speaking to how fantastic of a long distance cruiser these can be. In fact, perhaps best of all is its yearly road tax. Now in 2025 many cars are scaring potential buyers off in newer and sometimes older forms because of how high tax has become. In the case of a car like this though, even as a full-size Range Rover with tons of torque and horsepower and a 3-litre engine, which is a substantial size certainly for a diesel, it's still only £190 a year to tax. And in comparison, some older Range Rovers, even other diesels, are as high as £700. Now in the case of this exact model, it has a full service history behind it, still has its book pack and 2 keys of course. Its most recent keeper has clearly loved it because they've had it for the past 4 years, and as you would hope for being a Range Rover, it is very, very well equipped indeed. In addition to acres of room for passengers, for the driver, certainly for luggage room, of course it has that lovely optional panoramic roof. It also comes with auxiliary Bluetooth and USB interfaces, of course cruise control, front and rear parking sensors with that visual display to go along with it, and a reverse camera as well. Triple zone climate control, soft closing doors, another very nice optional extra which this one had, both heated seats and heated steering wheel, and that 10-inch touchscreen display as well. Ultimately, if you're looking for a vehicle which was a luxury car first and foremost, but here's the key, particularly these days, you could just as easily, if not more so, use as a genuine daily driver, a commuter even, certainly for long distances, or certainly a family car for both, again, daily driving or for holidays. Well, really, a Range Rover Vogue, you could argue, ticks all of the boxes. So of course, if you would like to reach out regarding this example, naturally you could send us an email to the address shown right here on screen, or of course give us a call on 01749 871 155 or on our mobile number of 07482 267 439.